You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Welcome to WZYE TV 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Let's Talk Politics. Like, share and subscribe to keep up to date with reality affecting your life, and as we always say, we bring the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
not even thinking that we would realize. And if we criticize, we could be ostracized. We don't know who to trust. That's why I say, Lord, please listen to this prayer that comes from before. Please send us another Moses again. Oh, we just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. Time to make them oppress us pay. So the children could see their way. Make them get on their knees and pray. Memory of the judgment day. Oh, just can't make it this way. Please deliver us today. Be like the Israelites delivered. Please send us another Moses again. Lord, we just can't make it this way. Yes, deliver us today. Oh, we just can't go on this way. No, we just can't make it this way. Please listen to what I say. Yes, hurry up with judgment day. We just can't make it this way. No, we just can't make it this way. Must we get old and gray? And the children can't see their way. Oh, we just can't make it this way. Oh, we just can't make it this way. We like the Israelites didn't they? Please send us another Jesus again. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Lord, we just can't go this way. Lord, we just can't make it this way. No, 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 we just can't go.
We gotta save it. Oh yeah, my sweet TNT. Oh yeah. We used to sing sweet, sweet Trinidad. To leave here, boy, you must be mad. This is the land of milk and honey, rum and coke and easy money. While those verses we were singing, alarm bells kept on ringing. Pundits on each pulpit saying, oh heart and our soul decaying. Suddenly we wake up to a living nightmare, not bliss while electorals ask, how did we ever come to this? But so long we hearing, you got to stand up and be counted. But daily we're intimidated. getting on. We're fighting, making porn. Our school girls, you won't believe. Live MMA, they pulling weave. Check the vibes, they're living by. Dance all slackness, get rich or die. Alkaline to Movado. Mention maestro, they don't know. No morals, no ethics. There is a centrifugal black hole. Lord, we must move quick to wake their conscience and save their soul. So long we've been hearing evil triumphs when good men do nothing. No triggers pump while words be fraughting, and while church attendance real low. Protest pack plus them casino, while black market prices haggling. Through a port with big guns they smuggling. Spanish women are hot like their music. Saucy salsa, human traffic trend they go. We can't wait. The devil making hair while we sleep. Tell them talk is cheap. We're caught in the world when we have to reap. While we look on them as more mothers who weep. We're caught in the world when we have to reap. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, Now the nation's soul has been revealed. How they find Shannon Banfield. Busy street, yes, in our city. Killed by beasts who show no pity. Now there's fear and trepidation. What is happening to our nation? So I pray this one infraction will propel us into action. Trend they go. The time is now. We have to take our country back while these monsters flow. We cannot run from their attack. That is why I'm still saying time to stand up and be counted. Our young girls, they're being hunted. Not for jobs by institutions, but by clubs for prostitution. While from you gas some arranging on the seas, cargo exchanging. In the Gulf, drugs, guns and women. And the Coast Guard cannot stop them trend they go. The time is now. Look how the murder rate leap. Tell them talk is cheap. We're caught in the world when we have to reap. Before more of our daughters they put us to sleep. Must stop this world when we have to reap. Time to stand up and be counted. We must defeat this threat they've mounted. We cannot wait for no messiah. Like Nero fiddling through the fire. But while the flames we keep romancing, the grim reaper keeps advancing. Across the land he casts his shadow, flashing victims to the marrow. Trend they go. The time is now. Look how the price we pay in don't steep. Why some labor keep? We're caught in the world when we have to reap. We need a fresh new broom for a broad crime sweep. Must stop this world when we have to reap. Save our land, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I say you get up one morning, your elders have something. You don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people to get the things what they went through, ask them this any day, and your parents sure to say, black man have to keep on jamming, or black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a pulley and jam with the devil. Why? Black man have to keep on jamming, or black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're ready to swim offshore and hold your boat steady. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With that dragon eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. You get up one morning, and oil money running. How it come you don't know, so that it care how the thing go. But if they read about Uriah, they wanna find out the pressure. How we get so much old hell to get a penny from TLL. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With that eagle eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. Say we got up one morning, independence happening. They think the thing come easy, now they're taking liberty. But if they know about petition, we are to send to England for some woman to tell we in this colony free. Black man have to keep on jabbing, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. People hold you, humiliate you, turn on and sell you, and then they free you. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With that dragon eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. So when a black man gets something, he got to start thinking to get it there easy. He got to practice economy, from getting licks from the slave master to become the land owner. Brother, it's a terrible journey, packed with plenty brutality. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to rise up, you got to stand up, make up your mind, you will always stay on top. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician.
Apple of thine eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wing, O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle, so sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus. Cover me. People your soul needs some restoring. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
A special good evening. Special good evening. This is WZYE 95.9 FM. You're in the village with Uncle Tommy. Professor Wall Street is going to be off this evening. He may be joining us a bit later. Meanwhile, I'm here with you. Glad to be here with you. Sorry for the little delay. Got caught off guard a little while ago, but hopefully I'll make it up to you. You can call in at this time. Call in at 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. Let me go to the chat and see who's in there. Who's in there? Chat basically ran away. Looked like Wolfgang was first. No, could be wrong. Let me see. No, first is let me see who's first in the chat this evening. Oh, yes, Wolfgang was first in the chat. Yes, Wolfgang was first. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Vol. Then we had Emeraj. And Caribbean Soul. And Clifford. And Darryl Superstar. Then Mr. Intellectual. Good evening. I'm not as well equipped as Wall Street, so it's going to take me a little bit longer to go through the chat. And Batman. And Mr. Maloney. Good evening to you guys. And Bro, Cool Runner. Ball again. Yeah, for the most part, all of the village families in here, and a special good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome to the village. You can call in and say what's on your mind. I know some of the hot topics today is Earla's return, and or should I say, attempted return by Earla. Coming up at 8 o'clock. After 8, I should be talking with Sergeant Ramsey to hear his take on some of the going zone. Meanwhile, you can call in and express yourself. The number here is WhatsApp 973-609-6509. That's 973-609-6509. There's a lot going on. A lot to unpack. Mr. Intellectual, thanks for calling.
Blessed evening, Uncle Tommy Day.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling. And what's on your mind?
Yeah, so let me stimulate the evening this evening. It has so much of magic taking place. Again, our feedback there.
I'm not hearing any feedback here at this moment.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Go ahead.
The thing is,
Go ahead.
the police not investigating nothing. They decide that they're going to punish Ola Christopher for not carrying the line. So she getting a blow between now and tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. So again she have farewell blowout. So she has a celebration coming tomorrow. But who investigating the kidnapping of Brent Thomas?
Good point.
Who investigated the money that they use for campaign financing, taxpayers' money? Nobody investigating that. I hear the police and them saying nothing about that. So what is really going on? Huh? I hear the board, the TSTT board and all refused to resign. They may want to do nothing but stay in power. These people are no shame at all, right? I really know what's going on with them. So there's what we had to put up with. New administration, but old players. You understand? The PNM still want to stay in power. No matter how much licks they get, they still want to stay in power. They can't give up. I don't know if they have a tabanka or what, but these people and them don't want to do the right thing. They started off on the wrong foot, they ended on the wrong foot, and they continuing on the wrong foot. I don't know if it's right foot, left foot, or all foot. Tell me what you think about that now, Petit.
I think we need an adjustment of attitude in our blessed land. It's just that it's gone on for so long. The attitudes have gone on for so long that it's going to take a major effort to straighten things out. For example, it's not even 2 weeks yet that the new administration is in, and people act like as though they expect the sky and the moon right away. Not today, but yesterday.
Yeah, but you see, that's how wicked the PNM is, right? Especially the PNM supporters. They just want to create a kind of instability in the country. So they start with the dotishness already. Or they want to fulfill their promise and all this kind of thing for 9.5 years. They never get nothing. They see things that are wrong now. All of them with their hands stretched out and their mouth, the tongue out of their mouth and they're dribbling. So they can't help themselves.
You see, the fourth estate have work to do that they're not doing. And that's why they're getting away with that madness.
But the fourth estate is PNM party group number 4.
All right.
They don't care about what is happening to this country, you know. All them care about is them not getting any kind of financing that they was getting before. So it's no self they don't in the truth. It's no self they will find everything wrong in the country. Before they didn't have voice. They had the real pit. They get a little ashes now and they roll it out. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, we will keep our eyes open and see. I wonder how Mr. Maloney and I'm feeling about this now. They was talking about all this righteousness about the other government, how much right thing they was doing. And this one now coming. I wonder what they have to say about what it is went on back then, because it was going back in since the 2015. I wonder what they were saying now about what is going on or went on for the 9.5 years, if they got correct that, if they got pointed out. I'm waiting to hear now. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you, Mr. Intellectual. And the same to you. Caller, you're live. Mr. Maloney, you're live.
Good evening, Mr. Tommy. How are you?
I'm quite good, thank you. And thank you for calling.
You're welcome. The listeners, the others, and US, good evening.
What's on your mind today?
Well, a whole lot. So let me just pick out a few. I'm appreciative that the election come and gone. We have a winner. I'm appreciative of the fact that I didn't see anybody had to go to court and challenge this and challenge that. The challenge with the counting, okay, all right. And I don't think anything untoward happened. And the citizenry must take some commendation for that. Because we could look around and listen, and we could see how it is in some other places. All right, so we must be appreciative and thankful to the people and God that we could have an election, change our government, and still have life almost like normal. Now, I'm also appreciative of if it is that one group wants to get in and the next group wants to stay in, and it will depend on what the people believe or what the people are told, and one group decide, look, listen, let me see how much sugar cake I could offer, not give it, offer. And based on the offerings, people make their decision. Well, okay, no problem. Because the persons who offer, the onus is on them now to deliver, even though there are those who are neutral, I consider them neutral, or country lovers like myself, who look and see that some of these offers were not realistic. They were not realistic. But your offer, and at the end of the day, at the beginning of the night, most persons would have been over 18 and they will decide. And they decided, and nothing is going to reverse that. My hope is that people be realistic, even though they would have heard X, Y, and Z, that they be realistic. One, time is a factor. So I do expect that tomorrow there will be no murders, there'll be no kidnapping. I do expect that. But I hope that people will not be saying, if it is that it take 3 months, 6 months, 10 months, 10 years or 12 years, that people now say, well, you give them 20 years, so you have to give we 20 years too, or you give them 9 years, so you have to give, I hope people wouldn't be doing that, because you've got to look at what was promised. You've got to look at what was promised. And last but not least, I am hoping that the people will be positive. And what I mean when I say positive, I mean you're going forward, but you're looking forward too. So it's not like you're going forward, but you're only looking backwards, because what you will end up doing, what you could end up doing, is tripping and falling and damaging yourself, damaging others, or damaging property. So let's forget about the PNM now, at least for now. Let me see what we could do to make this place better, because so many times them PNM people and them were calling and messaging and talking about the UNC. And you know what the response was? Hey, them not in government. Them not in government. So you can't deal with them. You can't deal with them. But now, the PNM in opposition, and you're hearing the opposite. Hey, boy. You see the kind of mess we're in, boy?
But Maloney,
who could help you to move from this?
Maloney, I agree.
Yes,
I agree with you what you're saying, but there has to be ample time to let the new government settle. And
that is what I said. Yes, I agree with that.
And we must keep in mind too that an assessment has to be done as to what took place before. At least we have to line up all the ducks before we start the shooting.
And I believe a constructive assessment is what is required. Not an assessment where the PNM people were looking back and saying, hey, that 5 years where we had them there, look what they do, bam, 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 bam. And they were complaining and saying, but that was the best 5 years Trinidad and Tobago had in the last 1,000. So it had to be a constructive kind of assessment, not the kind of assessment of, don't tell me nothing, no, you can't tell me nothing, because look what I did for the last 5 years or the past 10 years. All right, so I'll give others a chance.
All right, thanks for calling.
And I hope that Mr. Wall Street is okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He's handling.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Caller, you're live, but you're not on the big screen because you didn't wait. You didn't wait. Wall Street's gonna be late. He had some matters on his regular.
Okay.
Professor.
Just log on and see you. And yet, the don't person on your program called Joseph talking. And you don't ease up on Joseph and tell him he ain't doing nothing. God, Joseph have no voice when it comes to the UNC. He should be, his tongue should stick when it comes to the UNC. Because God, Joseph is one of them who had nothing good to say in the last 9 years of the PNM about the UNC. But UNC win election a month ago, and Gordon Joseph coming to talk about what they promised us. This is the kind of sick people. Listen, Uncle Tommy, I just log on. And just hear the last I hear somebody talk about UNC promised about crime. And they had to make sure and fit. And you tell them, well, they need time. You tell Gordon Joseph they need nothing. Because Gordon Joseph is a waste. And I'm telling you, I just log on and I'm make me sick here and I'm talking about it. Gordon Joseph, you shouldn't be asking or expecting anything. The UNC did not promise you, Gordon Joseph, it, you tell us that 101 time that you have no faith in Kamla Pusat, the Sessa, and the Yellow. Why you coming now? Talking about get PNM arrest, don't talk about PNM. We must not talk about PNM. So all you can go in the corner, to come back with all the propaganda and lies against the UNC. We will talk. You can't tell us to talk. We have to talk. Because when we wasn't talking, the country fall for the propaganda and the lies. You understand? Because we was quiet thinking everything's good. The UNC was doing good, but we was just enjoying the goodness and we wasn't talking. And the PNM come and tell us understand nonsense in 2015 and win the election. Don't come to try to throw that out again. It ain't gonna work on Joseph. We waited for people like you, but UNC people shouldn't talk. Uncle Tommy, that's a serious thing. Look, yes, I watched your Facebook not too long ago, I think yesterday, and see that they have Coast Guard boats where people in Tobago ain't see Coast Guard boats in the last 9 years. Uncle Tommy, what Coast Guard boats on the water just before? Not for security?
Absolutely.
All right. So when Gordon Joseph, this biggest Sunday show, come and talk about he wants to see what the UNC must bring from it. Gordon Joseph, leave the UNC alone, boy. Leave the UNC. Stop talking about that. You never liked them before. You cannot like them now. Leave them. I hear your last party contribution. And I just know it's nonsense you talking. And people have to listen to you for a long period of time. Don't rush nobody to do nothing. The PNM thief everything and gone. Why are you not talking about that, Gordon Joseph? Why are you not talking about the PNM thief everything in every ministry? There's no money nowhere. Gordon Joseph, talk on the program and talk about that, Gordon Joseph. Don't come and talk about what UNC, where Kamala promised. Kamala promised you nothing. Nothing, Gordon Joseph. Yes, a sick person. A sick person, Gordon Joseph. You. Uncle Tommy, have a good night.
Thank you for calling. I see my guest is in the background. I'm going to bring him in. Not right now. Caller, you're live.
Good night, Mr. Tommy. Good night to Mr. Anslim. Good night to all the callers, all the text everybody on the line. Happy to see everybody on our things at you say.
Thank you, Mr. Florida. Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right, so I had time with Gordon Joseph, but here I have a proposition, and I hope the UNC could understand what I'm saying. I hope they're watching the program. For me to break the cycle, to try and ease up the crime, you know, this is something that I would like. In the schools, have a nutritionist, a psychologist, a police, and a religious man. And if you have to extend the school time 1 hour extra every day to have that hour classes, you have to find out if the children and them are properly fed. You have to find out what psychological problems the children have. The police is there to talk to the children. And you know, you do interventions like people who in prison to show videos that how hard the life is and choices that they make was the wrong one. To teach these children that do go down that same path. And you know, they will have to see live people, single mothers, come and speak to the children in school, tell them do not make a mistake, how hard life is being a single parent out there, and how men is abused here, and give them a reality. And I would like that the retired police take a part, you know, give them a job to start to come into the schools and speak to these children, know what's going on. Because in order for we to ease off this crime, we have to stop this cycle. We cannot afford to have these children finishing school and heading into the life of crime. So, you know, we have to take it from by the root, from in school time, and if you have to extend your hour extra to make these classes, Then on weekends, you can have a one-on-one with the children, and because you'll know which is the troubled children. And to the PNM sycophants, right? Let me give you a little sample. When I was in Trinidad, in a parlor, I paid $2 for a bottle of water, right? In a roti shop, I paid $6 for a bottle of water. And in a restaurant, I paid $10, $12 for that same bottle of water. And you know what's the thing I'm trying to come up with? The water is the same, you know, same label, same everything. But you know what makes the price go up? The place it is. And if you guys want to stay in the bottom of the barrel and don't want to elevate yourself, that is on you. That is not on the government. Thank you very much, Mr. Tommy, and have a great night.
Thank you for your call. You have a great night too.
Yeah.
I see you, Mr. Ramsey. I'm gonna bring you in after the top of the hour. Yeah, so again, it's that night, is that type of night. We wish Professor Wall Street a very good night and success with what he's working with. As we get ready for the top of the hour and we're gonna be bringing in I'm just trying to line up my ducks here as we talk. Gotta get used to this. Caller, you're live. You're live. Turn down your computer and talk on the phone.
Hello, good night, Mr. Uncle Tommy.
Oh, KFC.
Good night, Mr. Washington, wherever he is.
Hey.
Mr. Tommy.
Yes, sir. Let's hear what's on your mind.
Observe, say this evil, wicked PNM on the power. You like anyway, should call us now. The send some bus, and the bus send them full time small bus. You know, send it to UNC government coming point. They're running double bus now. The bus stopping in Shogunas, but the double bus going straight south now.
Okay.
I think chopper all flying in the air. So when I chopper them was grounded all the time on the PNM. It's a big one people happy to see Coast Guard and the waters, all kind of thing. But Mr. Uncle Tommy, I'm there, your daughter. She go and get assistance tonight, or?
No, she
She still hiding?
Yeah, she hiding.
Well, I'm not going for the break then. I'll up to and listening. Bless.
Yeah, thanks for calling. Put on my glasses so I can see as we get ready to do the top of the hour. Caller, you're gonna have to make it real quick because we're getting ready for the top of the hour.
All right, I'll call you back then.
All righty.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Again, welcome back. This is WZYE 95.9 FM. The phone number to reach us here tonight is 973-609-6509. That's 973-609-6509. As I bring in my guest, here with me is Sergeant Ramsey. Sergeant Ramsey, welcome. I'm not hearing you. Can you hear me? I'm not hearing you, Sarge. I'm not hearing you, Sarge. I'm still not hearing you, Sergeant Ramsey. I wonder if the people out there are hearing us. They should be. Let me remove you and add you back. Sarge, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Welcome, and a very good evening to you.
Very good evening to you and all the listeners also.
Yes, indeed. Well, I know you are aware of what's going on, a lot of what's going on in Trinidad at this time. And,
yes, I've been trying to keep abreast of it.
What do you think about what's going on with the ex-commissioner of police? Should I say the current commissioner of police, who's been having some challenges with the system?
Well, that's really above her pay grade. I mean, if you're talking about in terms of Ella,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, as we know,
rather. I said Ella.
Right. She's in a position where has to answer to situation is much above her pay grade. Let's put it like that. She is between a rock and a hard place. And not having the political savvy that she would need for that job, it really makes it difficult for her. In a job like that, in a position like that, she has to, her hands are basically tied. That's the bottom line. You know.
I saw today that we lost one of the most valuable mayors we have had for a while.
Oh yeah, Mr. Sharp James. Yes,
that's to those
five times mayor.
To those in Trinidad, that's here. That's local news we're talking about.
Yes, local news.
Yeah, but the lines are open. I'm leaving the lines open. Anyone can call in and to discuss anything that they so choose while we hang out. But what's on your mind, though, Sarge?
Well, the state of emergency that Trinidad is in, really, with the gang situation.
Well, the state of emergency has been officially ended, but you mean it's still an emergent state?
It's still emergency. It's not ended because the solutions what they talking about to really move the country forward wouldn't work. when we're talking about stand your ground law, you pretty much created an OK Corral, the Wild Wild West. That is not a good approach. It just doesn't work.
What do you recommend?
We need more police involvement, the military involvement too, but they have to be supervised. You have to have people supervising. You just can't give the police and the military carte blanche to do whatever they want to do. I served 21 years in the military. I served 21 years in corrections. So I know someone has to be responsible for the police actions and the military actions. So just saying that they are members of the police force or military is not good enough to do what's right. Someone has to be looking over their shoulder in order for that to be done correctly. And what I've been suggesting is that we have to have the community involved. You can't keep officers in cars just riding around, and you need boots on the ground where the people could see these officers and the military personnel and interact with them on a daily basis. And the supervisor has to be given a reasonable area where they can adequately take care of the needs of the general public and their subordinates. So we have to sit down and put a comprehensive game plan together and just not leave it up for the women and men that's in uniform to just make it up as they go along. That wouldn't work. So, hopefully calm minds can get together and really iron this thing out, think it out, and put on a game plan. Like I say, we have to have the general public involved. And the officers we have to bring back the cadet program where young men and women are.
Let's take this call. Call you live. Call you live. Yes, sir.
Professor Wall Street, Uncle told me if you go to start with that police service, boy, you need a broom and a mop to clean up there,
I believe you.
From the head, go right down here to clean up. That place in Shambles. Right? It seems to me that these police are them have their own gang-like agenda. Right? That's how they continue inside of it. All them fighting for top cup and cutting down one another inside of it. So they not commerce by itself. I want to leave that for the time being. I want to go over to the matter with the Auditor General. That matter was dropped, right? Because the Auditor General and the government keep agreement into the case, right? They would have to pay the lady court fees and all that because she won, right?
Yeah.
But she could have sued the government due to the fact of what they do to she, but she decided not to. And there's certain people coming out there and saying it was all politically motivated. Yes, it was politically motivated by the PNM at that time because of what they do to the woman, right? They dragged she through the mire and tried to discredit she. But now that she settled the matter, they find that should not be so. She should not take the case all the way to sue the government. I want to know if people in this country smart because she tried to save the taxpayers of the country a bunch of money that we had to pay out and the state isn't right to discontinue that matter to come to a settlement. And I want them to settle the Jawala Ramaran case too because Mr. Ainbert was found guilty in that matter. He had to pay at least $5 million to the man. He appealed the matter And now that going before another court again. Right? So the taxpayers again will have to spend more money on those litigations. That is good to know. And it's another case where Fira Bajan was given a job at the Equal Opportunities Commission, right? And she was discredited from doing her job by somebody inside of there that took her to the court to remove her. Vera Bajan won that case, and she was supposed to get monies for that, and she wasn't. They appeal the matter also, and that going before the court. So all of those things should be discontinued. They're just wasting taxpayers' money, and that's why you see John Jeremy can come out and say they have to pay over $70 million in legal fees because people freed in the trough. And these foolish matters, such as these, I just covered there, and there may be countless more that causing the taxpayers of this country to needlessly be indebted by a government that don't really care. They only have the people feeding at the trough, and that is my concern. All of these things are to stop, and what is legally right, they put it before the court. And once it's cases just like I just talk about there, they should be settled immediately. Uncle Tommy and I guess have a good night, and thanks for allowing me this contribution. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Just keep on keeping on. Yeah, Mr. Ramsey.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah, so you were talking about what's needed to resolve some of the crime problems that we're facing in TNT.
Like I say, we have to have that continuous amnesty with weapons buyback. You have to remove weapons from the street, not add weapons to the street. Because when you're talking about stand your ground law, now what happens to the poor people who cannot afford a meal on the table and have to worry about buying guns to stay up with what's going on? We have to try and remove the weapons. Trinidad was never known for this gangsterism. So we need to take these guns away, give young people a chance. Because most of those young men who are so-called in gangs doesn't want to have to sleep with an AK-47 or M16 on their chest. They'd rather to be out having fun.
Okay, hold your thought. Let's hear what this caller has to say. What are you live? COP?
Uncle Tommy?
Yes, COP.
Good night to you, Uncle Tommy.
Good night to you too.
And good night to you, I guess. Sergeant what?
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Sergeant Ramsey. Like Police Sergeant Ramsey.
Yes. Police and military.
Good night to you, sir. I like where you're going. I like where you're going with that because all those ammunitions and guns and then need to come off the street. But I want to ask a bold question because Marcus Garvey asked bold questions, Martin Luther King asked bold questions, Malcolm X asked bold questions. And I, as a citizen of this country, I want to ask bold questions too. Because in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, we have police service, we have national security, we have army. In this country, our country are 1.4 million people. And if I had to check that 4%, I would say it's more Caribbean people and then it's real Trinidadians. We at least have 1 million real Trinidadians over here. Every police station in this country responsible to alleviate wrongdoings in that area, in them areas. Do you believe that it can have any wrongdoings like what we see in Trinidad and Tobago over here? Young guys with big guns, briefcase and money. I'm not fighting down them. But I believe the only way that wrongdoings could take place is when they have support of these police and them. The only way, because if the police No people selling drugs, or if people selling drugs and they know the police coming from them, they're getting rid of it. The only way that can allow, now you watch in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, it have police station, and 3-4 miles after the police station, it's a big fishes and thing, and the police don't know that. Do you believe the police don't know that? In the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago,
Too small for them not to know.
1.4 million people.
Too small a place for
This is
them
not a
not to
country
know.
where we have 33 million people and 70 million people. The only way wrongdoing can take place in any country is unless they have the people them who are responsible to eradicate that, unless they have them support, it will go on for over 40 and 50 years, and it will continue. And many of the people and them in authority who have the responsibility to stop that, they keep a blind eye towards it. That is a fact. Because I see this happen in this country where for years, for over 50 years and more, and it keep growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Who's supposed to stop that? Mr. Ramsey?
Well, like to say,
I come down harsh on nobody though. Thank you.
That's why we have to have the general public involved. We have to have a civilian complaint review board involved. So not just the policing themselves, because I'm from a family of law enforcement. One of the former General Secretary of Trinidad, Joshua Gordon, that's my granduncle. He was Burroughs' right-hand man.
Okay, let's take this. Let's take this call. Hold your thought, Mr. Ramsey. Go ahead, caller. Caller, you're live. You're live, caller.
Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead, make your point.
Good evening, Tommy, and your guest, Uncle Tommy.
Thank you, Miss Atlanta.
I tend to agree with the last caller who were talking about the big fish. Nothing can be done because all the drugs and guns and things are supported by people in the police and big heads. Because did he have a Scott inquiry? Some Scott inquiry some years back. What became of that?
Many years ago.
You can't look at the little people. The little people do not have the money to buy all those big guns and all kind of things. They are supported by the top. As Mr. Manning once said, the big man, right? You could look at 1 million, how many young people you want. You would not go far. And Mr. Victor Ramsey said that you have to get the guns off the streets or something like that. And what will happen to the young people? But if they have money to buy those big guns, therefore they could feed themselves and live good. If they have money to be buying the expensive guns, because those guns aren't cheap. They're very expensive. So that's my take. I don't understand the guns part. When Mr. Ramsey said to take the guns off, or to, I don't know if Mr. Ramsey could explain it to me.
Well, there's only a small amount of people, young people, have the money to buy those guns. That's why they belongs to these gangs. The average young man and woman does not have that type of money to purchase weapons. Now, like I say, I worked 21 years in law enforcement and 21 years in the police, in military. So I know about security. And I did over 40 something years of private security. I know exactly how this thing works. I live in Newark where the gang was very, very terrible. And we're talking about a population right now with 307,220 people. When the population was less than that, when it was 282,000 people, we was having around 900 murders with another 20 suicide. So I can tell you, I know. I was an officer here who worked my whole career with a hairbrush in my holster to show that I was there for the people. Everyone said that I was crazy. There's no way I can do it. I've been retired 14 years now. So I know. I worked with the gang members. Many of those gang members in Trinidad was held in my cell in Essex County. And we had a great rapport. It's just they need people who cares, who wants to make the changes like I did. I helped many people get out of jail who was wrongfully put there by crooked police who I served side by side with. And they knew when I came to work, none of those crooked things could happen around me. So we need people who care, people with experience to go there. Like I say, most of these young men who are involved in the gangs does not want to have to sleep with an automatic weapon. They'd rather to have a fiance, a wife next to them, and their kids in a safe place. So we keep on saying that, it's a good thing to arm everyone, and we blaming the small amount of people for what the masses is not involved in. Yes, we know that the people with the money, who has the speedboats, who has the private planes and stuff, help bring the money in. We know who those people are. But if we pull the community together, having young cadets working alongside the military and the police, walking the beat, going into stores, having them sign their books. So now you have the people and the officers working together to help clean up the system. That's the only way it's going to work. We can't expect the police to do it by themselves. But at the same time, we have to keep them accountable, hold them accountable for their actions. And by doing that, by having plenty witnesses around you to sign and say, well, these officers are doing their job, and a supervisor that goes around and check on them. This, we have to break these down into small groups and areas that is most concern, that there we deploy a lot of help, police officers and military personnel alike, to work as a team, a joint task force. That is what is needed in Trinidad. Trinidad is too small to have gangsters. True. And we ought to remember that. I live in New Jersey. And like I say, I helped at least 300 people get out of jail who was wrongfully put in there. And when I came to work every day, the 600 and something officers that was on my shift know to be on their best behavior. So that's all it takes.
Yeah, but the morale of the cop in Trinidad has to be very low with all the shenanigans that's going on, especially still in these times.
Yeah, but look, the same thing, Tommy. You've seen all the ex-prisoners come to me and still today, I still have a great involvement with the police. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to a graduation, help a young lady get back on the job. So we really, really need to put attention and focus on building the community back. We have to have, instead of having all those cops sitting around the precinct and the military personnel just sitting in the barracks, put them to work. Trinidad is one of the safest places during Carnival. Why is it? Because the people with the money put all those officers and military personnel to work. They can work all, 14,000 of them could be working every day. That's what they get paid for. Don't have them sitting back playing cards in the precinct, in the barracks, while the nation is under siege.
Caller, you live. You hung up? Are you there, Ramsey? Call back.
Yes.
Okay, Ramsey. The caller hung up.
Yeah, we need to stop the finger pointing and do something. Yes. Like I say, we need to stop the finger pointing and do something about it. We have to do that. Make Trinidad safe again. And it's not as hard as people make it to be. We have a lot of retired officers who volunteer. We're glad to volunteer to make it safe again, that people can walk the streets. Like when I was on, and you had this.
I don't know why you're breaking up, Ramsey. You look like you're freezing too. Are you hearing me? Mr. Ramsey, are you hearing me? Sergeant Ramsey.
Yeah, I'm here. So.
Yeah, I wasn't hearing you there for a minute. Are you hearing me? Sarge. Sarge, are you hearing me?
That's what we have to do.
I don't know why your volume seems to be going up and down.
Yeah, you're back on screen.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, make your point. Go ahead, Sergeant Ramsey.
You're back on screen, Tom.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I am.
Okay. And like I say, we have to sit down and use the same method that they use during Carnival to keep the people with the money can keep that country safe for those 2 days, 3 days. They can use the same thing. Put all our military personnel, put all our police officers on the beat. They're being paid. They are on the clock. Why not utilize them? And stop crying about 3 or 4 bandits, wannabe bandits that's on the street causing all this havoc. It is a very simple solution.
I have a call coming in. Let's take it.
Okay.
Caller, you live.
Good night again, Uncle Tommy and David.
Yes, good night to you. Welcome.
So I listened to what all you're saying about the crime situation in the country, right? But just you know what baffles me? When people put on hit and murders on people, jump in a car, drive off, and they just disappear mysteriously. and they cannot be caught. That is my mystery. How it is these people are letting escape such as that? And we have cameras, all these light poles, all these things. So not like in America, where you see crime taking place, these cameras pick up where these people driving. They will pick up where that vehicle went, and then more or less the police will have the entire place surveyed, and they will find where those people went. But in Trinidad, it seems to be that the cameras on these poles not working, so they don't survey where these people are going, and they escape scot-free. And that is always my point of view, how people do these killing and escape. So that's why I see a lot of criminals were taken up on the time to shoot and kill people with impunity and escape without being brought to justice. And another thing is that when the police catch people, they don't have enough evidence to prosecute them. And that's another matter too. The detection rate in this country is horrendous, right? It is single figures, when it's supposed to be over 50-60% or more to prosecute people. So what we have here is just a revolving door syndrome where people keep on doing crime and they're not being caught or prosecuted. And they can put whoever bail amendment bill or whoever. You put people in jail for police bail amendment bill, you have to gather evidence. And when you see the time up, no evidence to prosecute them. So they go back out. They're just giving them a tent in jail at taxpayers' expense, but they're really not solving the crime. I think we are Alexander trying to go in El Salvador. It's something to look on, because over there, gangs was running rampant until our president decided to do something about it. So we might have to do something likewise, because we cannot have these individuals jeopardizing innocent people's lives, right? And running rampant and killing us the world. You have to put a stop to these things. And if you had to do like Donald Trump and make gangs a terrorist organization, you must have to do that in order for them to be caught. But if it's a terrorist organization, it just means is an enemy of the state. So that might be a point to run forward too. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Thank you for the call. What say you, Sarge?
Like I say, it has to start from the grassroots, where you start removing the weapons off the street. Like I say, Trinidad, they have two places that they sell weapons, a couple of places that they do tactical training, but no manufacturers. We have no factories that manufacture weapons in Trinidad. So it is much easier to curve that. We know where the weapons coming from, right? Venezuela, Colombia, and some from the United States. We have Coast Guards could help secure the borders. But the main thing is to get the weapons, first get those weapons off the street with amnesty. You have every Friday at least weapons buyback. Those weapons is to be destroyed. So we know it is not coming back on the street. You have the police and the military working together to buy those weapons, break them down, put them in military vehicle, take them to a spot and burn them. If those weapons with the serial numbers should return, we know the officers and the military personnel who took the serial numbers from them, and they will be charged with those crimes. That's one of the ways to get. That's what places like Jersey.
Let's take this call. Quality Live.
Yeah, good night again, Mr. Tommy. Good night, Mr. Ramsey. So,
Thanks, Mr.
Mr. Ramsey,
Florida.
that gun amnesty is something good, right? But let me put it in perspective. You see some of the videos on that this guy named Christmas List did in Trinidad, right?
Yes.
And you see some of the guys on them who owns these guns. And you know they're not wealthy. So you know they did not purchase those guns. They're using the guns to protect the turf and protect the so-called big fish. but they do not own that gun because they cannot afford that gun. Because if you see that 90% of those guys don't even have one decent sneakers on their feet. And to give the guns, they would not be able to give the guns if they don't own it. Because if they give the guns, then there will be repercussions. Because in America, a lot of the gangsters own their guns. So they could give up the guns. But in Trinidad, we know 90% of those gun carrying criminals, which is a small percent, do not own the guns. They are using the guns for the protection and to protect their turf and protect the big fish. So I think for me, right, that's my last point there, we need to get into the schools and we need to educate the kids and from a young age to break this cycle that is going on. Show them interventions with guys from in jail, how they make wrong choices, show videos. If you can have one or two of them do a live video and show them the consequences of their action, that being crime do not pay. And from a young age, you inject that fear into them. The same thing with the young ladies. Have single parents, single moms come and show them the mistake they make and how hard life is. And it's not a better rose that you get pregnant at a young age and be a single mom and not be able to provide for your child, and your child has to go into this crime. And we need to have certain nutritionists, psychologists, officers in the schools. We're supposed to make it a mandatory hour subject and find out where they stem from, and let me see if we could stop this cycle from finishing school and joining a gang. And the last thing is, you see the communities, teach these guys and them in the communities to fix refrigerators, televisions, plumbing, welding, and stuff like that, landscaping, and put them in the community to work at a stipend. When you learn the job, they could charge their own price and there'll be a community company. So that's a few views I have. Look, understand.
Thanks for your contribution, Mr. Florida.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Yes, Aj.
Yeah, like you say, as many things have to be going on simultaneously. We know education is a big key, but like you say, along with the education, you have to have a lot of honesty. We have to look at ourselves and see what it is we're doing. Look at ourselves in the mirror and see if we're doing the best instead of just staying and complaining. We have to put ourselves together. Trinidad have a lot of scholars there. Some of the best universities in the islands and stuff is right there in Trinidad. So we are not short in education. What we need, we are short in actions. We are very, very plentiful in complaints. So what we need to do is have the leaders step up to the plate and make a conscious effort to clean this up. Because we have all the tools there is. We can control that gang situation. Like you say, those who does not want to be a part of that, they have, by having the amnesty, they turn that weapon in. Many of those kids may have the weapon. They're just looking for a place of rescue. Why not provide it for them? We have to. We have to find a way. We have to come together to do that.
Let's take this call. Caller, you're live.
Thank you very much. 2 questions I would like to throw to the panel there, please.
Go ahead.
With the scenario that we have where it is quite clear that many persons who were charged for all different kinds of crime and were even jailed and then got bail, go and commit more crime, go back in jail, come back out and repeat and repeat and repeat. And I've heard that as long as the scenario is as it is, we will always have this situation because little or no attention is being paid to the court system. I'm subject to correction, so I'm throwing this out there, true or false. Does the court system have a great percentage of taking blame for where we are at with crime? That is one, and the other one is it true that Jamaica, the government and the opposition were able to come together and they were able to come up with an agreement that's supposed to help with the gun crime? If we have that here, wouldn't our situation change if the government and the opposition could come together, discuss and come up with something? Because for a man to be caught with an illegal gun, it should be something that is very serious. I know there are those who studying, well, somebody could plant a gun on you. Okay. All right. What about when it's you plant the gun on you? What about when it's you plant the gun on you? So those two areas, I would like to hear if some comments could be made on the question of the court system and the question of the government and the opposition coming together and come up with some policies and some systems that could help the court and could help us see less gun crimes in the country. Thank you.
What say you, Sarge?
Like I say, that's why we have to have the civilian. We have to have the general public as a part of this. You just can't let the police or the army police themselves clean it up, or the government, certain people in government. By having the community, having a civilian complaint review board, those people can make those hard decisions. And it ought to start now. We can't wait until it get any worse. Like I said, the few guys that carrying the weapons that is owned by politicians and other gang members, high crime guys, you can't do much about that. But with education and a way out, people have to have a landing strip from that area where they live. They have to have some type of trade schools. They have to have some type of programs to educate them and to give them, jobs. People have to have jobs. They have to have a way of taking care of themselves. You can't ask that person who doesn't have a good education, doesn't have a way of feeding themselves, to give up the gun without giving them an alternative. And that's why we say, I remember growing up in Trinidad, it was many programs they had. They had the youth camps, they had all the trade schools, many of which is closed today. We ought to revisit those periods. Have things on the table that make sense. If they was to open out a few of those trade schools, many of those gangsters will, and there's a program, federal assisted program, they will go to those trade schools. They will give up the weapons. They need alternatives.
Hey, I see Sarge I see Professor Wall Street is here with us.
Yes, Professor. Welcome.
Welcome home.
Sarge, how you going? Welcome.
Great.
It's always nice to see you in the village, man.
Yes, always nice. Like I was saying that with the gun situation, with the crime situation in Trinidad, we have to actually have an aggressive amnesty program where we can filter some of those weapons off the street. We have to. And like I said, along with education and having some of these trade schools and stuff reopened, have some of those old retired sergeants and military personnel as volunteer. And we have to have small groups supervision in areas where you have the police, the military working together with the cadets, going into stores and businesses and having them sign, say that these officers are doing their job and they're not sitting back in the precinct playing cards or drinking. And same with the military. Activate all those. They are being paid. Activate them. Use every one of them. All our resources. Get the like the cadets we used to have these young men and women selected by the police. Each one get 2 cadets,
We have a
and that
call.
will
Let's take
double
this
the
call.
force.
Caller, you live.
Good night again, Uncle Tommy, and take a guess. Now, Uncle Tommy, you know the gangs infiltrate these schools as young as primary school levels?
What?
Yes, the insider there had to do the village. Not too long ago, there were children involving gangs that were selling drugs, mainly marijuana, inside of there. And they graduated towards the junior, secondary, and secondary school. Right? So the gangs are well involved in the school. So you need to clean up inside of the schools there first of all, and rid those impurities inside of there from toxicating the minds of the youths, right? And furthermore, we have a ballistic science center in this country, but I never hear since them are wrong, and I saw them launch it under the PNM government, that some of the weapons they got, right? Whether or not they're matching these bullets to these weapons to prosecute anybody, I still don't know if that is the case with them, because that is one of the main reasons. If you find somebody with a gun, they do a background check on the bullets from that gun and will match it up with people who were shot and killed. And hence the reason whoever had that gun will be more or less charged with a crime and murder. But I'm not seeing certain things like that. I don't know why and if that is not part of evidential gathering in this country. And also DNA is another thing, because a lot of people, a lot of cases would take place with DNA gathering to prosecute people also. So you have to have a scientific and technological aspect in where gathering crimes. And I don't think this TV is totally up to that standard to deal with that. They need to be brought to 21st century policing, right? To do those kind of things. And when they do that, together with that judiciary, who need a real penal, they need a own out, right? Because somebody practices taking inside of there, I think it is questionable. That's what I can see. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Let me say this, Sarge. I want to
Yeah.
say something, You see, what we have in Trinidad and Tobago today, it's not like what we had in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. It's a different game today in Trinidad. And I'm going to say this, Sarge, you may disagree. I agree with Ms. Kamala Prasad, this is 100%. Light up the matic, cock it, and give it to them. Because, Sarge, it is difficult these days to be in your home and have them bandits come in your house, right? You're telling them, take the thing, right? But you know what they want to do? They want to take their gun and light you up. And I'm saying, before you light up me and my kids, my wife, my daughter, my children, I go light you up first. But, however, Sarge, I want it to be a legal weapon. But you know what? Think about it, Sarge. If you're in my home and I had to defend myself, if I have an illegal weapon, I should light you up to that and suffer whatever consequences after. Because, Sarge, the thing different now. It's real different. You understand? And not only that, but I also agree with the Prime Minister to give people legal FULs. If you ain't beating your wife, if you don't have previous conviction, right? You're not a criminal, but he's a law-abiding citizen who can pass the test to get FUL, give people FUL. We could go and get a gun in this country. If I want a gun, I could go and get a gun. I do a background check and everything else. And if things come up in my background check, then I can't get it. Why not?
Well, the same is true here in the U.S. But my concern is that the bandits is always going to have their weapons. Okay, so it is good that the citizens could buy weapons, right, legally. But what I'm saying is that we should not have that John Wayne idea of the OK Corral type stuff, where everybody
them thinking them is John Wayne.
I understand that, but
if them is John Wayne, I want to be John Wayne Senior. When they come in, them is John Wayne Junior. I John Wayne Senior.
Well, in cases like that, you have to do what you have to do at home. What I'm saying, my whole thing is not to arm the whole public to be walking around with guns on their hip. That's not what we're here for. We're here for.
But Sarge, it has states in here. It has states in this country. People walking around with gun on top of their car, behind their back, they strap in this country.
And what is the police doing about it?
No, because it's legal. It's legal for them to do it. So if you have a legal FUL, I'm talking about legal. I'm not talking, and Sarge, I have to be honest with you. If it's not legal, Sarge, let me ask you a question. Let me say you have an illegal firearm in your house. Right. It's illegal. And 10 bandits, I exaggerated, eh? Let me do exaggerate. 3 bandits jump the fence, come up the stairs, break down the door, and you inside there with your family. Tell me what you're supposed to do, Sarge.
Well, they earn that. They earn that. They get what they earn. Right?
Okay, so therefore, Sarge, the only thing I could do is defend me and my family, and I lighten them up.
You have the right to do that. But what's
wrong with that?
It's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that people just walk in the streets with weapons that is not legal. If you have legal weapon is one thing. So, but who is going to be doing the policing to see that these people carry the necessary paperwork saying that they have legal weapons? Now, if you want to pass that everyone has the right to carry, like in the American Constitution, you have the right to protect yourself and carry arms. Yeah. Now, I can see that. But remember, many people doesn't have money to buy these weapons. And that's what's going on in a poor country. Most of the people who need to have weapons to protect themselves would not have means to get that.
But Sarge,
so what we have to do
this, Sarge. 5 years me ain't go to Trinidad. 5 years. Yeah. I ain't go to Trinidad. I'm not talking about people walking the streets, you know. I talking about them home invasion. I'm talking about people come in your house and violate you and your family.
Well, I have no disagreement with that. You're supposed to be able to have a weapon to protect your family, right? And yourself in your home. But we're talking about the streets, just carrying the permit to carry on the streets, right? Should only be handed out to a selected few people. This is what I'm saying. Now, home invasion is something totally different. Everyone should be able to have a weapon so long as you have a reasonably clean record, right? For your homes. I have no beef with that. You should be able to carry that. But to carry outside, as if you're in a wild, wild west, is what I'm talking about.
No, but I don't think the legislation and this fella named Gordon Joseph. Joseph, you need to apologize for lying, you know. Sarge, you know anything about the Bible? What does the Bible say about a liar, Sarge? I'm asking you. I don't know if you know. What does the Bible say about a liar?
He's
I don't know.
murderer. He's a murderer.
I don't know about the Bible that much. What the Bible says about a liar?
Yeah, he's a murderer.
Okay. So you see that fella who called Gordon Joseph? Just said, I apologize to the people for the lie you tell last night on me. All right? It has lied too much. And I'm sorry to come in like this, Sarge. But
it's all right.
We had this Bible, we had these Pontius Pilates, who just come and want to quote the Bible over and over. And all they got to do is to lie. But Sarge, I'm sorry to bring you into this. But anyway, Sarge, I'm not saying to give people guns for them to run on the road and on the streets and all kind of
stuff. For home protection, everyone, in every country, you deserve to have a weapon to protect yourself at home.
Correct. What we want, I believe, and let me tell this to the liar. I talk about the Castle doctrine as opposed to stand your ground. Okay? And I haven't changed my stance because the stand your ground, when we look at it in America, it have a racial component to it.
Exactly.
And I was concerned about Trinidad and Tobago that it would be better for the Castle doctrine.
Exactly my point.
Yes, the Castle doctrine. But it's liar of a person. Liar, Pontius Pilate, the liar, who does always come and quote the Bible. Want to talk about, hey, yesterday he was talking about he against stand your ground. Now talk. I have not changed my stance. Yeah. You understand? As a matter of fact, Sarge, that fella don't know what stand your ground, you know. He might think it was under the ground they're talking about, you know. He don't know what stand your ground is. And he don't even know what the Castle doctrine is. He must be talking about a house doctrine. He don't know none of them things. And when he come in here, he learn about them things. But anyway, Sarge, we have to go for the break. Let me go for the break, eh? Boys, I couldn't take a drink where I went tonight, you know. I ain't take a drink. I should have taken a drink, Sarge. You know, I was going to think I should have got Long Island Iced Tea.
No. It's good that way. So this way you could game it raw.
Oh, okay. I should have taken a drink.
Now,
folks, we're going for the break. It's in the village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, Sarge, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We're going to go for a quick break. Don't forget, folks, share the live, WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook. Subscribe, WZYE TV and YouTube. And you could reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509.
Thank you for somebody send a virtual drink for me, please. I want a virtual drink. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Send me a virtual drink. Eh?
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
There's one thing to have, protect yourself.
The donkey told the tiger,
"The grass is blue."
The tiger replied,
"No, the grass is green."
The discussion became heated and the two decided to submit the issue to arbitration. So they approached the majestic lion. As they approached the lion on his throne, the donkey started screaming,
"Your Highness, isn't it true that the grass is blue?"
The lion replied,
"If you believe it is true, the grass is blue."
The donkey rushed forward and continued,
"The tiger disagrees with me. He contradicts me and he annoys me. Please punish him."
The king then declared,
"The tiger will be punished with 3 days of silence."
The donkey jumped with joy and he went on his way, content and repeating,
"The grass is blue, the grass is blue."
The tiger asked the lion,
"Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is green."
The lion replied,
"You've known and seen the grass is green."
The tiger asked,
"So why do you punish me?"
The majestic lion replied,
"That has nothing to do with the question of whether the grass is blue or green." The punishment is because it is degrading for a brave, intelligent creature like you to waste time arguing with a fool. And on top of that, you came and bothered me with that question just to validate something you already knew was true.
The biggest waste of time for all of us is arguing with the fool who doesn't care about truth nor reality, but only the victory of his or her own beliefs. Never waste time on discussions that make no sense. There are people who, for all the evidence presented to them, do not have the ability to understand. Others are blinded by ego, hatred, and resentment, and the only thing that they care about is being right, even when they aren't. When ignorance screams, intelligence moves on. The moral of this story is do not argue with a fool.
Let me say hello to Gordon Joseph. Caller, welcome. Good night.
Professor Wall Street.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We started wrong, that it should deal with people once you have a legal firearm and they break into your house.
Yeah.
Right? Because you stand on your ground, that is your sovereign ground.
Correct.
But your best friend and permanent enemy in the state, Gary, said otherwise. Because he said there's a use of force. That if you use too much bullet on somebody, you could be facing prosecution based on that law. That is what he come out and say. Because everything that Kamala say, he had to put some kerosene on it, right, to light up a fire. So that is what he was coming out and talking about. How if you use too much of force on a criminal, that you can face prosecution based on the laws of this country. I'll leave it. So let me hear what you can say about that.
Yeah, okay.
Have a good night.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Sarge.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. That's a use of force. Like you say, you use necessary force, whatever that it may be. Right? They come with a knife, you come with a gun. They come with a small gun, you come with a bigger one. You have to use overwhelming force. So that what's being said doesn't make sense. To protect your home and family, overwhelming force is necessary. Because you are there trying to conserve your own life. So
let's take this call. Caller, welcome.
Thank you very much, and welcome to you too. Glad you made it. Yes.
Stand by, COP. Stand by.
Specific. When you say that I lied.
Good night to you, Uncle Tommy.
Yes, stand by.
And Professor Wall Street, good night to you.
Tommy, tell him hold on.
Hold on. Hold on, COP. COP, hold on for a moment.
Caller,
go ahead.
Hold the line.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah. I'm saying because it's Gordon Maloney. And remember what my tenants are. Can you be specific to say what I lied about so that I can address it, please?
Caller, you said about
yeah.
you said about the Laventil to Wall Street Empowerment Center. I don't have to. I don't want.
Which one?
Caller.
Yeah.
What do you mean by which one? There was only one.
I said that.
Which one are lies?
You have not presented your. You have not presented a budget. You have not said how you will deal with the borderline issue, which is something that is real.
Caller, those things were all in the proposal that was given to the government. You lied. Those things were all in the proposal given to the government. You never see it, but you come and you want to lie. You just want to lie because you like to lie.
So would I get a chance to talk, sir?
Take COP. Go ahead, take COP.
COP hang up.
Yeah. Not tonight. I take a drink where I went tonight. I drink a water, and not tonight. I drink a sparkling water. But I drink tonight. You understand? Yeah. You want to lie and you want to come and talk which lie you lie?
COP, you're live.
Good night to you again.
No worry.
Professor Wall Street.
Yeah.
Good night to you again.
Good night. Good night.
Come in fiery.
You man see I dress up nice.
Don't take no,
With my suit and my
don't
outfit
take no
and
drink.
yeah, and I go and hey,
You might be brutal.
see that? Bring a next sparkling water for me. I'm gonna next one. Bring a sparkling water for me. And more sparkling
Better you
water.
drink our water.
Yeah. Drinking our water. Bring our water. You know? Bring a next water for my sparkling Moby water. That's our first. Where to you, P?
Mr. Ramsey, good night to you again. Mr. Ramsey, in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, you all could speak about crime and thing here. But it's very hard for we, the citizens, to speak about crime and they can be attacked for that. And Worship, I think you should listen. I think you should listen to what Alliance said just now. Leave that for alone.
You know it's true, you know.
When you look at it,
yeah.
When you look at it, the real crime in Trinidad and Tobago, it's more the violent crime in the African communities and them, and in the PNM constituencies. And we must ask bold questions and we must be real. Why it is in those PNM constituencies that represented the people on them from 1956 to now, you see dilapidated schools, because I hear you speaking about educating the people on them. It have the most dilapidated schools. It don't have no proper sporting facilities. When we watch and news, when somebody get murdered and things, you see the place just woofy, no opportunities. But it have MPs that representing the people and them, and so have a constitutional responsibility to enhance that community. And we keep a blind eye, the MP keep a blind eye, and give other race opportunity. Why she had the responsibility to fix the community? The mothers and the fathers keep a blind eye towards it. The whole African leaders and them, all of them, keep a blind eye towards it. When we watch Christmas list video the other days, why the Keith Rowley administration and Fitzgerald inside the condemnation, they show the world the bad representation coming from the PNM constituency. And we as African mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers and humans, we're supposed to classify ourselves as human beings. But we keep a blind eye towards that. And we love the PNM party more than anything else. How it is? National security, Mr. Ramsey. Mr. Officer Ramsey. How it is? National security for the past 10 years could spend over $65 billion. And we're out of that $65 billion, we just keep locking up little black boys, stuffing them in a prison with no kind of facilities, no educational facilities inside it, put them in remand yard with 15 and 12 young boys sit down, pull up, squeeze up in a room, and we're building educational facilities outside with that. And remember, is black leaders we have supposed to see about everybody, but have a responsibility to see about your brother and sister mostly. Because that's how I will think that everybody else thinking, because they say the UNC don't see about their own. And I don't see that way to see about everybody can go when the UNC win, everybody win. But let me not leave out that part of politics. Let me go to the reality of it. Why it is for so many years, over 60 years, the PNM constituency lead by African leaders, and they do nothing towards their community. They keep a blind eye towards it. the PNM supporters and them, they keep a blind eye towards it. Why is to watch other race make a lot of money and can see when you can make money, you become independent. You could choose what you want in life. But when you're not independent, you accept whatever you get in life. A URP worker, CPAP worker, forestry worker. And that is what happened to the African community for years. And responsible people for party support, seeing that taking place for years and keeping a blind eye towards it. Unless the African leaders and them stop doing that, unless the African police and them stop doing that and start to speak out and say, no, it's not supposed to be so. We're supposed to show you love rather than we condemn you. We're supposed to give you an opportunity rather than we lock you up and put you in prison. And that is what they're supposed to be doing. Give people opportunity first rather than penalizing them, especially when the community don't have nothing. If your mother and father work in URP for 10 and 15 years and you get under minimum wage and you have 3 children, can you nourish your children properly with that URP work? $700 a fortnight? Can you do that and bring up responsible children? When them children reach 10 and 11 years in the African community, them have to struggle and look for their own bread. Them have to buy their own school shoes. Them have to buy their own school clothes. And the PNM leaders and them know that in the community. When they're walking about every 5 years, they're seeing that and keeping a blind eye towards it. Thank you.
Yep.
What says you, Tommy?
What said I? COP made his point.
You see, this is the thing. I grew up in Schumacher, Claventil, and I know what it is to be poor. And you know what has beat me, boy? Seriously, what has beat me? When I see black people who look like me and supporting the PNM don't want no kind of improvement for their own community rather than just to defend their party, I don't get that. I don't understand that. And why am I saying this? The Laventel to Wall Street Empowerment Center, it wasn't for Wall Street, It was never about Wall Street. It was never about me. The Laventel to Wall Street Empowerment Center was a vision for young, poor, black, disadvantaged youths in Laventel and environs. And you know who was mostly against it? Black PNM people. Black PNM people. But you know what? Now we have an Indian prime minister, people living below the poverty line. And already on her way to doing it again. To show them leaders in the PNM, them black leaders in the PNM, all they're not serious about black people in this country, All you only serious about them, for them to go to the polls, stain their finger for you, and after they start the vote, dies it. Cancel Christmas for them. It's abuse after abuse after abuse. Emotional abuse, mental abuse, economic abuse. And I supposed to sit down and stand by and approve that. Martin Luther King says, your life ends the day you remain silent about things that matter. Let me repeat that. For the PNM people like Gordon Dryden Joseph, Patty, PNM Fox, Martin Luther King says, your life ends the day you remain silent about things that matter. Dr. Claude Anderson says, any race that's taught to hate itself and love the world will become its own oppressor. Any race that's taught to hate itself and love the world will become its own oppressor. And Sarge, I want to talk about this quickly. I was talking with a very, 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 very intelligent person in Trinidad and Tobago, and I was telling her about internalized oppression. Right? You see people like Gordon Dryden Joseph, what he's suffering from is what's called internalized oppression. You see, what they do as black people, you see what other people think about us? They internalize that and pass it on to people that look like them. For example, When he says, why won't you don't come? No, not he. Why them say, why won't you don't come Trinidad and buy a building? Eh? Why you don't buy a building? Yet, we have people that don't look like us living off the government on a daily basis. You know, they don't say nothing about them. It's internalized oppression. They internalize what other people think about them and pass it back on their own people. And I want Gordon Dryden to go look up, go Google internalized oppression. I have a video I could play for you, but I want you to get a little education. Go and Google internalized oppression, Gordon Dryden Joseph. You, Patty, and all of you, or one of you come in here is to learn, you know. You understand? It's to learn. Google internalized oppression. And all you go see what it's about. Let me take this call. Sarge, 1 minute. Caller, welcome. Mr. Florida, welcome.
Good night, Mr. Hanson. Good night, Mr. Tommy. Good night, Mr. Ramsey again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Hanson, internal suppression.
Internalized oppression. Internalized oppression.
Yes, I just say systematic racism the own party doing to the own race.
Correct. Yeah.
But sorry, Mr. Hanson, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Mr. Hanson, I agree because Mr. Gordon said the same thing. He said he didn't put a proposal.
Yeah.
But since we listened to this program, we know you put that proposal. And let me go as far to say, before they start to advertise and show Carnival all over the Caribbean and all over the world, you come up with a program to do that. And who turned it down? Who turned it down?
Boy.
The PNM.
Correct. You know, Mr. Floyd, I forget about that one, you know. I forget about that. I tell you this internalized oppression, and listen, it only run into one party in Trinidad, you know, is the PNM. Let me give you a next example, Mr. Florida. Only remember when Fitzgerald Hines was coming out of a grocery store and he saw a fella begging, what he said? He looking for the piper in the fella.
Exactly.
You see? Internalized oppression. He looking for the worst of the worst in people that look like him. He internalized that. And he figured if that fella begging, he's a piper. He looking for the piper in him.
Piper in him.
Yeah.
You remember that? And Mr. Ramsey, let me give you an example what we facing in this country. They had a crime convention with CARICOM, and I don't know how much they spent, $50-some million, and nothing come out of it. The same PNM government. And then the opposition leader had crime committee meetings, and the PNM refused to go and join it. And when they have the educated Black African man in that meeting with the opposition leader, he say, Paul, and call them dog and uneducated. So how will you be able to break this crime when the own oppressors on them is the own people? Mr. Ramsey, you know what's the problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago? The UNC win election, but in history, every time the UNC win election, after 5 years, they vote back in the PNM. And when the PNM come back in power, they do nothing for crime. Nothing. We had the 3 highest murder rate in the history in Trinidad and Tobago, and the Prime Minister refused to reshuffle the Minister of National Security and make changes. He just left it as is. Look, honestly.
Well, go ahead, Mr. Ramsey.
Well, it is simple. Look at the lawyers. Look at the judges. Look at who own those prison vans. Look at who puts off those cases. Look at the people who owns those things. And so once someone who looks like us wants to make a difference, they remind them of who have the big bucks. Look at their judges. Look at the amount of the percentage of prisoners. That is a money-making scheme. But 80%, 78, 80% of the prisoners are blacks. And who owns the vans? Who owns who have the say so when they go to courts, when it's postponed, right? And keep them there. So those guys are getting paid off to continue the trend. That's as simple as it is.
You know, think about this, Sarge. If the PNM was serious about saving money, like how the current government are, and let me tell you this, I have no problem with the government saying they go cut back on media, they go cut back on all kind of things. Let me take this call, but I want to make this point after I take this call. KFC, welcome. KFC.
Hi.
Yeah.
Good night, Mr. Washington, Uncle Tommy, and Mr. Ramsey.
Yeah, Sergeant
Yes.
Ramsey. Yeah.
Sergeant Ramsey, we're looking for a commissioner police. You can take the work here?
You go give me work. You go get Sarge you work. You gotta start a petition for Sarge to get you work.
Well, like I tell them, I'll be work. I would pay forward with the work. Give it back to the youth. Give it back to the nation.
Yeah, more sure than Guy Griffith.
Yeah. GG.
Yeah. You want to know who in charge of what elephant? You're only part in charge of them justice on time, you know.
Justice on time. That is it. Justice on time. JOT boy.
For them to get richer to the opportunities of the poor, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, for the last 9 years, you know, those when my court closed down for the COVID.
Yeah.
You know, they was rushing to fix over the court and all kind of thing and pitting it over and kind of thing. Because he big boys and the 1% from them bowling, the man do just stand time down for a long while.
Yeah.
So they getting the transport prisoners, they making no money. So every time the PNM in poverty, crime is always go up. Why? How that is going?
Yep.
It's simple.
Because you know why they don't take care of the people in the community. I look to understand.
Yeah, man. Now, Sergeant Ramsey and Tommy, think about this, right? Why they don't have a court in wherever they call it, remand yard or wherever it is, that a prisoner don't have to leave the prison to go to court?
Right? They could have circuit viewing.
Right. You understand? Because every time justice and time have to go to the prison, take them to Port of Spain or take them wherever, bring them back. That is money. If they have it right there, you know how much money they could save?
But that's the thing. They're not in saving money. They ain't making money. Now they pay off the blacks to not complain about that. And so when our people get in power, their hands are in the cookie jar.
Oh,
plain and simple.
Oh, the hands in the cookie jar. Huh? You know, it's about time that the people of Trinidad and Tobago decide to, I am happy that the PNM no longer in power. You understand? And one main reason, you see, let me take this call. COP, welcome. Oh, COP, hold on. You see, somebody cutbacks that the prime minister is already making with he said to the media. You know who was making most of their money? The 1%, you know.
Yes.
That media thing, or they don't get tired, you know. Or they're getting tired and say, oh God, come on, go down and cut the media. It's not little boys like we and the ground report and heavy and TC. And it's not we, you know. It's them big Sawatis who making all the money in media from the PNM.
Exactly.
That is the people. You understand? What we used to get is anything fall off the table and the rat or the mice and eat it. We get that. That's what we get. COP, welcome.
And Professor Walsh, mainstream media. Mainstream media does nothing for the UNC to win this election.
Nothing, absolutely zero.
Mainstream media watch all the good that lady did from 2010 to 2015 and bad talk it, condemn it, criticize it, demoralize it, and push she out of office, and then condole all the nonsense, chaos, confusion, and bacchanal misconduct in public office for 10 years. For 10 years, them watch mainstream media, see them thing take place, and make hundreds of millions of dollars of our taxpayers' money. The social media what put the UNC in office and Kamala Prasad as Prime Minister again. Not mainstream media.
Yeah.
And I watch. We supposed to give the UNC today 10 out of 10 for cutting all funding and cut all that money for media, and then let me see what's going on. Let the country know how much we pay mainstream media and radio, because I can remember a local election going, they bought all radio station and television station.
Yeah.
And all the UNC had was mainstream media. Kind people who decide not to keep a blind eye and wrong, stay focused, and they post this and they post that. And WAS 95.9 was one of them, doing it now for over 5 years. Ground Report was one of them. Ian Allen program was one of them. All them YouTube, them bloggers and them is what that this government had to focus on, give them the opportunity, because them doing more transparent media than mainstream media.
COP, you are so
Mainstream
correct.
media-
Eh? You are so correct. Eh? And I want people to go look at, I don't mention this, but I'm going to mention it since COP bring it up. Eh? Or you go look at the views. Eh? Go look at the views. That is what's tell. Let me tell you something now. Eh? WZYE have 1.5 million views. 1.5 million views. You understand? Them news media, and in addition to that, COP, the videos we are putting out just get 10,000 views, 15,000 views, 20,000 views. The kind of thing them mainstream newspaper. Go ahead.
Professor Wall Street, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
WAS 95.9 have more views than CNC3.
Correct.
WAS 95.9 have more views than TV6 or even Synergy TV.
I'm telling you.
The diaspora program, that is a foreign-based program in Trinidad and Tobago, who look on listen, have more views on this program than any other mainstream media.
But COP, let me take it.
Like this.
COP, wait 1 minute. Let me say this to her. We have more views than the Mugabe station.
That's a fact.
We have, or go look at it now, don't take my word for it. We have on a consistent basis, daily basis, we have more views than the Mugabe station. So we ain't just talking. We just walk the walk. And when we put out videos, or they go and look today. We put out videos today. They have over 4,000 views already, 5,000. But because Mrs. Kamala Prasad is absolutely right, go and look at, or they're paying them millions and millions and millions for what? For what? We could do that. If we get them 10 million, we could do it. 50
And they get more views. They get more views than them telling them mainstream media.
Yeah.
Mainstream media them. And that is what the UNC recognize. They recognize that because why pump hundreds of millions of dollars into already millionaires who bring in biasness, untruth, political strategy, they interfere with the vocabulary, and they interfere with the vocabulary and dealing with definitions to fool the community, and who don't have laptop and who don't have the things to educate themselves. Fool these people and them. Why do them things? Social media is the media for this government to support. Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
For this government to support social media. You see all them young boys and all them who was doing blogs and who was doing videos and them posting up, get in contact with them and establish them. Let them do news too. Let them highlight the good that this government doing, and they will get more views. This program highlight all the good that the government doing, and they will get more views. Most people will see the good that they're doing just instead of one or two people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sergeant Ramsey, what says you?
He said it all. He said it all. Yes. Makes all the sense.
Sergeant Ramsey, you see, all three of us, Sergeant Ramsey, are Trinbagonians.
True.
Right.
Right? All three of us want better for Trinidad and Tobago. Right? Sergeant Ramsey,
Yes.
you have offered your services for the past 10 years in Trinidad and Tobago. What has happened?
Nothing. Nothing yet.
Huh?
And I'm just trying to pay forward so that the young generation could enjoy the life that we had. It kind of gentler Trinidad and Tobago. It will happen again. It will happen again.
But all right, let's take this call. Mr. Intellectual, welcome. Sergeant Ramsey, you're being a little too generous. You know? You're being too generous. You offer your service for 10 years. Nothing happened. They ignore you, Sergeant Ramsey. Oh, God. You're someone like you're paying them now, you know, Sergeant Ramsey. Caller, welcome. Hold on, caller. Caller, welcome. Mr. Intellectual, welcome. Let's take this call. Mr. Intellectual, welcome.
To the sergeant there.
Yeah.
I would like to know the sergeant's perspective in having a police force that the population do have confidence in, and a police force that or service that does not show any kind of integrity, but seems to be manipulated by the past government. We have issues that have not been looked into as yet. The people have some funding that went on for the election day. The financial people and them and investigating it, the police not investigating it. It had some issues with people integrity, integrity and life commission. They never investigated that. So tell me, how could we as a people, right, trust the police service and those who are paid to be independent, to look after the people's business and not doing it?
Let me let him answer.
How are we?
Let me let Sergeant Ramsey answer.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah, man. Thanks. Go ahead, Sergeant Ramsey. You're talking about the police service.
It's very simple. You have to have the community involvement. Well, like I said, you have a joint task force. You have the military, you have the police, along with the general public, the citizens, right? Working together. Now, when you take those police out of those vehicles and have them walk in the beat alongside with a cadet and a military personnel going into homes and into businesses and signing every hour and the hour the areas that they cover, and a supervisor is now have to verify that the citizen will have the power, because they will say whether or not you're doing your job, and you will be fired if you're not doing your job. So don't cry, because help is here. I know how to do that. You see, make the police accountable. And that's all it is, accountability. And the supervisor would have no choice. They will have to do their job when these young police men and women walk in the beat. Not just drive by 100 miles an hour and when something happens, then they show up. No, that's not how policing works. They go door to door, business to business. And you will actually see those officers out there. You will be able to have a good relationship with the officers, the community. So where is the theft and the abuse will come from? Because you are the one who signed their paycheck. Make sure they earn it. Remind them who signed the checks. And trust me, they want to be paid. And the community could say, well, these officers haven't done their job. And they will get zero pay. That's always hurt them in their wallet. The wallet and the pocketbooks will be empty. And in order to become an officer, cadet, you have to go to the community. They will have to do a survey and ask about that individual character and the interactions with the community, whether or not thumbs up or thumbs down, making them an officer. And trust me, everybody wants to be paid. They want to eat, not just wearing that shiny little badge on that uniform. They will have to work for it. That's how you curb corruption. Make each and every one responsible. Look what Chure is doing in Africa. The whole world trying to hold him back. Can't hold him back. All you need is an honest man. One man to make a difference. And like I say, I was born in Trinidad. I left there at 15, but my heart has always been there to give back. And I will change the way policing is done in Trinidad. Just give them a chance. I don't need one penny for that. Just to give back to my people.
You know, it's interesting you say that, Sergeant Ramsey. Somebody just text me something. Tommy, you remember this, Tommy? Princess Margaret, good night. Mr. Anselm, you remember when you wanted to get PNM to do the digital white space internet? It's cheaper. Tommy, you remember that?
TD white space, yeah.
TD white space? Whatever happened to that, Tommy?
Nothing, but
I mean nothing.
It's being revisited right now by this new government.
It's being revisited. Look at that. Look at that. And the PNM get that early o'clock, right?
Yep.
Oh, you know why, Tommy? It wasn't brought by no 1%. That's what. It wasn't brought by a 1%. So, Sergeant Ramsey, I hear you talk about accountability as far as the police is concerned.
Yes.
I mean, is that really an easy fix?
It's an easy fix. Make each and everyone accountable for their duties, the attitude towards the public, because you will be working with the general public. Once you walk in that beat, the car makes it impersonal. Take those vehicles away. If the supervisors for area only special units should have that. Trinidad is not a million miles long. So having groups in each area work a couple of blocks, square blocks. Those police are to serve that area. And since everybody in Trinidad is pretty much federalized, so it's not like United States, different jurisdiction. You can't work San Fernando if you point. You can be moved anywhere from Port of Spain to San Fernando, Point, Chatham, wherever. So it's very easy. So there is no excuse, none, zero. And since everybody is on the clock, put them all to work until we take back that nation. We take back.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we can take back the streets. It doesn't take long.
I see the Minister of Homeland Security reached out to, is it El Salvador? Somebody chat can tell me. I just saw it today that
Yeah,
he reached out to
yeah,
one of them
about the crime
countries.
situation there and
Yes,
what he did to curb it. Yeah.
correct. So he reached out to El Salvador to have discussions with them because they have been very successful with dealing with gang-related crimes and criminals.
And
I mean,
Trinidad has a lot more money, a lot less space.
Correct.
So why would you reach out to El Salvador when we have all of the people in place to do the job?
But what it is, Sergeant Ramsey, to me is that they already have done it. What we in Trinidad have to do is we have to come up with innovative ideas. They have already done it. Let's have discussions with them, how they do it, and let's see, we could take what we think will work in Trinidad and Tobago and give that a try. Because they have done it. Because the last 10 years, we have had no innovative idea with respect to crime in Trinidad and Tobago. You remember one of the innovative ideas was to create a vetting squad. Yeah,
right.
That was one of Phil Geraldine's innovative idea. Come up with a vetting squad. Yeah. So I am saying that.
What about the re-entry programs with the deportees? That's first has to be addressed. Where a lot of the so-called expertise is coming in from deportees, right? Have a landing strip for those people so that they can have a halfway house to learn skills. Many of them have left for 30, 40 years and coming back, not having a skill other than selling drugs and criminal activities. We have to address those things. We can't ignore that, because then we putting them back into a world of crime again. They're going to reach out to those individuals in the communities who were sent back and involved in crime. That's what's going to happen. So we know what to do. People are just being paid off not to do it. Let's call a spade a spade.
Well, I want to think. Sergeant Ramsey, you could see the comment on the screen. You could see your comments on the screen.
I'm seeing some, yeah.
Yeah, you see that fella? What you put up on the screen there?
Yeah, say Gordon.
Yeah, let's call him Gordon Dry. Let's call him Gordon Dryden Joseph.
Yeah, he can't work here. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, donkey, lion, and tiger.
I would like him to bring more experience than that. Like I say, I served 21 years in the military, 21 years in correction, and only over 40-something years of private security. Tell him to match any of that. I think I know a little more on what he's talking about.
Yeah, but but I want to think, Sergeant Ramsey, that where Tommy?
Let's take this call. Oh, he hung up.
Yeah. So you see, as small as we are in Trinidad and Tobago, right? I really don't think it is really and truly that difficult.
Not at all.
With respect to dealing with crime in Trinidad and Tobago, Sergeant Ramsey, you know about Newark. You know about Newark. And I can tell you, in 1978, when I went to Seton Hall, when I first attended Seton Hall University, they used to tell us, when you go out the front gate, do not go to your right, go to your left.
Exactly. Right? I know the area very well.
Right. They used to tell us.
Those area in 78.
There you go. Don't go to your right because you're heading to Newark. If you go to the left, you're going to South Orange, you're going to Livingston, you're going to Short Hills, you're going to Milburn, you're going to West Orange. Don't go to your right. No, they don't even tell the kids, don't go to your right no more. They don't even tell them whether to go left, right, or center. Because them kids now walking down to Newark. And why are they walking down to Newark now? Because they feel safer.
And I had a big part to play in that. I had a very big part to play in it. A very, very big part to play in that.
Our first house we bought was on Alexander Street in Newark. I started off in Newark. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, today, a house in Newark is like $800,000-$900,000, $1 million house in Newark now.
Exactly.
When they have an auction in Newark, you know, houses were sitting on the abandoned for years selling for $500,000.
And most of Newark now is owned, 62% of Newark is owned by the Hasidic Jews.
Talk. Them coming in and buying property like nothing.
Exactly.
You know, I took part in an auction one time. And I went and we looked about 4 houses. And them 4 houses was starting at like 50,000 or something. I said, what boy? I said, well, at least we go double the price, 100,000.
Yeah, you couldn't
Sergeant
pay
Ramsey, them house went for 400,000, 500,000. If you see the house on them.
Yeah.
If you see them. Because they had a conscious effort to clean up Newark.
Right. Which they did.
And they did. What's different in Trinidad and Tobago? Little Trinidad and Tobago.
And during that crisis, I was an officer with a hairbrush in my holster, and they say I was crazy. There's no way I can get people to be calm. I would have to kill someone, or someone would have to kill me. I'm still here, 14 years retired. So, like you say, it just needs someone who cared. And once they saw that I cared, the people protected me. That's all it is. So I know if I can do that work here in Newark, I can do it in Trinidad easily. We just need some willing participant, honest and willing. That's all.
Torah is being protected by the people too because he cared for people.
That's it. Muhammad Ali didn't walk around with no bodyguards. People know when you generally care. So it's simple. I've been retired 14 years. I still participate in helping people get out of jail. Officers still come to me for help. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to a graduation for an individual I got back on the job. So, like I say, all they need, people need is a chance, an honest chance.
Mr. Ramsey, sorry for interrupting you, but let Mr. Anson tell you in 10 years how much money we spend on national security. Look on this thing.
And most of that money could have went back into the community.
Let me pull out my budget paper here. Where I have it. You know, I'm gonna pull it out here. I have a budget paper here. Last year, national security get $6.1 billion. The year before that, $6.9 billion. Before that, $5.7 billion. Before that, $5.6 billion. Before that, $5.2 billion. So let me just say 5, 10, 15, 20, 21.
Pretty much $6 billion a year, roughly.
Yeah, $6 billion, and I 5 years.
Right.
30 billion, 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
30 billion.
Exactly, 6 billion.
And they was in power for 10 years. So it's about 60-something billion dollars in national security.
And a couple of $100 million could clean the streets up.
And what do we have to show for it? And you know what else tell we? Well, you know what? Most of them think that's going salary. Most of that is in
What
salary.
salary?
That's what I'm hearing people that say, folks, put your closing comments in the chat, send your closing voice notes, put your closing quotes in the chat. Yeah, they'll say most of that is going salary. Most of that. You know, we like excuses too bad, you know. 60 billion. Yeah, Caribbean sold $60 billion. We spent 60 billion, you know. Billion, you know.
Can't understand that.
Right? Listen, that's about 9 to 10 billion US, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's what I say. They're not serious. But this cleaning the streets up is an easy thing. All they need to do is to care and wants to. But like I say, look at the people who owns those vehicles that transport those prisoners, and who are the judges and the lawyers and prosecutors. Look at their nationality, ethnicity. Look at that. And
Let's
you
take this
see,
call. Caller, you have 2 minutes. Go ahead, caller, you have 2 minutes.
Almost 2 minutes. All right. Professor Wall Street, good night, everybody. Uncle Tommy, Sergeant Ramsey. I have a quick question. I just sent you and Uncle Tommy a video, but I know it's too late. But there was a New York official that just got arrested for shooting a UPS driver or something like that. I sent you the clip. Sergeant Ramsey, what is your suggestion then with the UNC coalition government proposing stand your ground and castle doctrine protection laws?
No. Financial guru, it is not cast doctrine. They propose
No.
stand your ground.
I'm saying if you look at what Mrs. Bisessa Prasad said on Thursday, she separated them from Professor Wall Street.
Oh, she did.
She talks about standard. Yes, she did. But stand your ground is what happened with Trayvon Martin in Florida, where she talked about stand your ground, and then she talked about somebody coming in.
Oh, okay, good.
So okay.
Yeah, that's two separate things, though.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they took my advice. I am the one that put the cast doctrine on the table in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
I taking credit for that.
I remember that, but what I'm saying is because I was in and out, Professor Wall Street, I didn't hear everything.
No, that's good. That's
so
good.
I'm asking
Yeah.
Sergeant Ramsey, because I think when you weren't there yet, he was talking about that. He had some concerns about that. So I'm asking Sergeant Ramsey, what would you suggest that the Attorney General or Mrs. Bisessa Prasad have in place in Trinidad to safeguard what happened in New York today?
All right.
I sent you the clip. It's less than a minute. Okay, so if you can answer that, I'll listen off here.
Done.
Have a good night, everybody.
Okay, take care. Yeah, bye. Your take, Sergeant Ramsey.
Like I say, I haven't seen the report that she had put out, so I can't speak on it clearly because I haven't seen the report.
Hold on. Yeah. So COP, we gonna come back to that. COP, go ahead quickly.
Professor Wall Street.
Yeah.
You see that 60 billion?
Mm.
And it's about 65 billion.
Yeah.
We spent in the past 10 years in national security. If you look at all the countries in the Western Hemisphere, it will take all the countries in the Western Hemisphere 10 years to spend 60 billion in national security. Mr. Ramsey, you know national security, and if you look at Jamaica, Grenada, St. Vincent, all the other Caribbean islands, and all over, their budget for security is not in the billions. It's not $5 billion and $6 billion a year. In the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, national security is $6 and $7 billion a year. And when the year up, we see crime rise more. Cost of living gone, illiteracy gone up more. No other countries in the Western Hemisphere spend all that money. And if they spend $60 billion, It take them 10 and 12 years to spend that money. We spend that money, this country alone. This country alone, Trinidad and Tobago, spend that money in national security.
Yeah.
And we build 5 police stations. We build 5, when I say we build 5 prisons, but proper prison with rehabilitation centers in it, with trade schools and things in it. We are doing them things. But we have a white man cooking for the black man, a white man transporting the black man, a white man making the uniform for the black prisoners, and a white man doing everything. Plus, we paying the white man $29,000 a month to feed one black man in prison.
Thank you.
You see how we money going?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, like I said, we know exactly where the money is going. We know exactly where the money is
Let me
going.
just give you a quick example. In the 2020, 23-24 budget, national security was allocated $6.912 billion. And that is one of the years we had one of the highest crimes, murders in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. They get more money and we have more crime. Yeah. In the last budget, they get 6.13 million, 6.113 million. Yeah? They reduced it by 799 million, right? And it was one of the highest crime murders in history in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's why the crime went up, because somebody didn't get paid.
This government was an abysmal failure, they increased the budget, murders increased. They increased the budget, murders still increased. Them is real failures, Look, and the good thing? Hey, watch this. I do a spreadsheet. Let me see if I could show the people on it. Yeah, look at here. Oh, let's see it. I do a spreadsheet and keep the numbers. Because you know why? People just think that, hey, them only making up that stuff. We don't make it up all year. We are not good at telling untruth. We're just not good at that. You understand? We leave that for Gordon Dryden Joseph to be the liar of WZYE 95.9 FM. Whenever Gordon Dryden Joseph come on this program, one thing we could guarantee that he will give us before the night is done is a lie. That's the only guarantee you could get from him. you know they say, we're going for the break. Sergeant Ramsey, when you reach 62 and you retire in America, you get Social Security.
Yeah, right? I did that already.
Yeah, the only guarantee we could get here in WZYE is when Gordon Dryden Joseph come on, we could get a lie from him. We're going for the break. We'll be right back.
At least he's consistent.
He's very consistent in his behavior. And Sergeant Ramsey, you're right, I shouldn't argue with consistency. You're correct. You're correct. I'm not gonna argue. Folks, stick and stay. We'll be right back. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walshy, Sergeant Ramsey, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Back to you. Let's take this one. KFC, go ahead. Go ahead, KFC. KFC.
Good night, Mr. Ramsey and Uncle Tommy.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Washington, you tell me the president went Saudi Arabia, right?
Who's that? Kangaloo?
No, he was Kenyan president, United States of America.
You went Saudi Arabia?
Yes, the get money the man bringing forward, but give the man a plane and all too,
Oh God! I'd call up my contact in Washington, boy. I want my share, You know what I mean?
Uncle Donald Trump, they have no future to make America great again. And the mother nation are trying to make sure that great again too.
Yeah, correct is right.
So I look to listen until Tuesday meet again.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Mr. Ramsey, don't frighten us. If they get nothing for the last 10 years there, you will get through. Just keep on trying. Doors open.
Yeah, man. Bless. You will get through, man. You will get through. Yeah.
Well, the people is going to demand it.
Oh, Sergeant Ramsey, I just wanted to before we go, clarify the one. Go ahead, Tommy. Take that one.
Let's take this call.
Yeah.
Caller, you're live.
Good night, Tony.
Go ahead, Mr. Mississauga.
What I want to say, you know, when Rory got into power in 2010, 2015, the first he did, he took away laptop from the, and especially, he did especially in the PNM stronghold. And the reason mean that Rory didn't want the black kids to get education. That if they are educated, they will encourage the parents not to vote for PNM. So he said, the only thing you do is take away laptop from them so they cannot get a proper education. So they keep on having wanting all the time. But they get $300 food card and a little handout. And they would vote for PNM all the time. So Rory tried to squeeze the people in the PNM stronghold, especially the kids. And that is what drives kids to be violent. Because they don't have a way, the only way and means of getting a proper education. You see? Nobody's happy. He's getting $1 million a year in a pension. And now, you take care.
Okay, Mr. Mississauga. Thanks for calling. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a difference between, before we go, there's a difference between stand your ground and the castle doctrine. And I'm happy to hear that Mrs. Kamla Prasad Besesa clarify the two of them, because what I was saying that we have to be careful with stand your ground in Trinidad and Tobago because of the racial component here in the United States of America, as opposed to the castle doctrine, which is your castle is your home. If a person come inside your castle and you have a legal license, you could light them up and empty the matic. You understand?
Exactly.
And yeah, the castle doctrine, the stand your ground thing is different. Whereas that, it's more for outside your home then. And I didn't hear it. But I am happy that that was clarified, because for Trinidad and Tobago, what we are in today, we need the castle doctrine.
Exactly.
Right? So a person,
you have the right to protect your home and family.
Correct. Yes. You have a right to protect your castle. And anytime they come in, light them up. Empty the matic and light them up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Stand
your ground, like you say, it's racially it is not a good thing.
Correct.
The poor man of color will suffer.
Yeah. And
always.
We may not have that in Trinidad, but we have to be careful. Right? Yeah. And make sure we clarify that we want a mixed steady boat.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And don't just put stand your ground by itself without the castle doctrine.
No, it can't work.
Understand? So we have to be very careful with that. So when you hear,
and that's why you say
Joseph, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's why we need the police and the community as a whole to work together. We can't. It's not us against them. It cannot be that way. And the police officers have to remember that they're civil servants, and their job is to serve and to protect, and do it with honor, respect, do it with dignity, do it with class. It's only one way to be an officer. Like I tell people, police is spelled different, two ways: P-O-L-I-C-E or P-O-L-I-C-E. Police or police. And stand to be a police, not police.
Thank you, man. So, folks, of course, let me just get this one. Okay. Okay, Santa Cruz. Yeah, empty the matic, man. Empty it on them. So, folks, since Sergeant Ramsey is our guest tonight, we're going to give him the last word, right? So here is my closing comment. Then we're going to get Tommy closing comment. And then we're going to give Sergeant Ramsey the last word. And then we're going to give your closing voice notes and your closing quotes. All right? Here's my closing quote.
Good morning, Lord. Today is Tuesday, May 13th, and I begin this day with one sincere request. Stay with me, because there are moments when the heart feels heavy and the mind is filled with doubts. But when your spirit is present, even the impossible starts to fall into place. So before I even ask, Father, I surrender. I surrender it all. My fears, my pain, my silent struggles, the battles no one knows I'm facing. I surrender the exhaustion of fighting where few believe. I surrender the pressure that builds up in the routine. I surrender the paths I still don't know how to follow. I even surrender what I can't explain, but you understand. Today, Lord, I'm not asking for an easy day, but for wisdom to face it with faith. Give me courage to choose what's right and peace to accept what I can't control. If something is meant to happen today, let it come from your hands. And if I have to let go of something, may it never be the faith that sustains me. And if I find myself on the verge of giving up, remind me, you've already taken care of everything before, and you will again. In Jesus' name, amen.
From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all. I like to stay, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent. When talent does not work hard, and for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. Go ahead, Tommy.
Life was meant to be lived, and curiosity must be kept alive. One must never, for whatever reason, turn his back on life. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. You, the man in the mirror, you have to become that change you want to see. However, when you look in that mirror, if you don't like what you see, you cannot blame the mirror. Guys, be safe out there. Love you all. Take good care of yourselves. And we'll see you on Thursday, God willing.
Thank you, Tommy. Sergeant Ramsey, you have the last word.
To all, keep your heart pure, and the Lord will deliver. Have a great night.
Thank you, Sergeant Ramsey.
Thank you, Sarge.
Thank you.
Thank
So let me quickly go to the closing quotes, closing voice notes. And let me say something. Before we do that, now let me do the closing voice notes. I wanna comment on what Caribbean Soul put up there. Okay. Closing voice notes.
Sarge, I'm sure you had a good time. Yeah. Some of us do. Because on this platform, there are some very, 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 very comedic moments. All right. My name, Sarge, is Gordon Bernard Maloney. I sometimes add the first because my big brother died, so I was the second. I'm now the first. And I told these people, the percentage is about 6.5 of them who just tried to fight me down. Eh? You cannot keep a good man down. Sarge, I have committed myself to speaking truth as I know it. But I may make a mistake, and if it is brought to my attention, I will definitely address it. So some of them will come and say, he does lie, he does lie, he does lie. But they never could point out what exactly. All right? But that is okay. Because once the host come with that, fish, we have a very popular saying on this platform, fish does rotten from the head. So sometimes once you start, then you...
Tommy, what is the statement we just say on this platform?
Fish doesn't rotten from the tail.
You ever hear me say fish doesn't rotten from the head?
No, we say it doesn't rotten from the tail.
And that is a saying we have on this platform. That fish is rotten from the head.
No, we don't say it doesn't run from the head. We say it don't run from the tail.
Boy, my mother-in-law is so correct. Alaya has no memory, you know. She's so correct, boy. Anyway, let me continue listening to him. I tell all you, you know, the fella he can't help himself. He's sending a closing voice note and he's lying on that too.
Consistency.
Oh, Sada Ramsey. The man sending up a closing voice note and he lying on that too. Oh Lord of Father, please put a hand. Oh God. All right, let me
check
listen.
the domino effect from the 6.5. All right, Sarge? Sarge, I talk something about the football goalposts. This is just an example. There are many other items, but this is just one. Your good friend, our host, WS, say that I'm lying, and he will bring the truth and prove that I was lying. He even asked me to remind him to bring it. I did that. Sarge, it's weeks and months now. We're still waiting. But I will continue to pray. Good night.
Oh boy.
Oh God, Rajan, use comic relief for the show. Every day I have to close with some kind of comical gesture. So use the comic relief for the show. Once you're here, we will entertain you with laughing at you. Have a good day, Professor Tommy and again.
Oh boy.
Fish that's rotten from the head. That is what I'm saying. Fish that's rotten from the head.
Oh
Let's
boy.
go to the chat.
I have some voice notes here.
You want to play them? Play them quick now.
Let me see what's in this.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Uncle Tommy. Sorry that you're on your own today. I know it can't be easy, but I think, when it comes to boards are appointed by whoever is in power at the time. So therefore, it is not a matter of whether you want to step down or not. It is a matter of whether you are still needed to be there by who is in power now. So they can remove them. This is not something, and this is something I know. This is not something that you decide when you want to step down or when you don't want to step down. And furthermore, the people of Trinidad and Tobago have been indoctrinated into feeling that whatever they need, it comes from another party. It does not come from the party that is indoctrinating them. They are loyal until they're dead. And this is what you hear them say. I'm red till I dead. But that is not going to happen because, a party, anybody that comes into power needs some breathing space to get things put in place, to put things right. And this government has been given the greatest mess to clean up that any has ever received. Have a blessed evening. I am listening in, Uncle Tommy, and to be truthful, I'm listening to what the sergeant is saying, and I'll be honest with you, we need a proper police commissioner that is capable, competent, and able to lead and to understand what needs to be done and to do it. And that is putting it in a few words. And we also need no interference, but we need supervision, as he's saying. I agree with that. But far too many of our police cannot be trusted. Far too many of our police are involved. And with the same big fish that they're talking about all the time, far too many police are involved in that as well. So we need a competent police commissioner, and I've been saying that for years. Thank you. And I must add here that Urla certainly was not capable of being police commissioner of Trinidad and Tobago. And that everybody knows. And it continues. You know, Uncle Tommy, what I don't understand, with all due respect, is that there's a lot of talk back and forth from this gentleman. That is in New Jersey, I think he said it was. And that is New Jersey. We're living in Trinidad, and the fact remains that it's not a matter of getting people out of jail that are wrongfully put there. It's a matter of crime, and this is terrible crime that has been taking place, home invasions, all sorts, and the type of crime that is taking place here. It's not about a slap on the wrist. It's not about having people supervising other people. This we require a commissioner of police, and that's the long and short of it. Good evening, Mr. Professor Wall Street. So good to have you back, because you have hit the nail on the head. This guy is just talking as though this is not Trinidad in the 60s. This is Trinidad in 2025, and it is terrible. And what he's saying there, I'm sorry, it's not practical for today's world. Thank you for.
Okay, let me put this out.
Mr. Ramsey, thank you for being on the show tonight. The people of Trinidad and Tobago will benefit 100% from your contribution. For being on this program, I say thank you. We will learn from you.
Thank you. All right, let's go to the closing comments in the chat quickly. Okay, Princess Margaret says, without love, we feel nothing. Without dreams, we accomplish nothing. Without God, we are nothing. Princess Margaret also said, your true greatness and sheer stupidity all occurs to test the limits of the soul. Okay. Proverbs 12:15, Ninja Girl, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes. Blessings. Ole, God, ole, give him a chance, give him a chance. Susan Lalchan said, have a blessed night, everyone. Semantic 62 says, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and look like work. Thomas Edison. That's how we like to close the program, man. Miss Santa Cruz says, the silence of good people allows the evil of bad people to continue to grow and multiply. Unknown. Caribbean Soul says, even Mad Lady Raw talking sense and making great contribution towards Kamala and the government. You know, Caribbean Soul, I have been in contact with that young lady, and I look at her platform. We was thinking about putting on a program on WZYE 95.9 FM. I'm being honest with you guys. And I went to a TikTok page and a social media page. I said, wait, boy. I said, nah, boy. It's raw talk, boy. I thought it was my talk, yes. But I saw her last video and I said, well, like she changed, boy. Oh God, overnight, boy. I say, all right. But we still in discussions. Caribbean Soul says 1 tree can make 1 million matchstick, but 1 matchstick can burn 1 million trees. Moral of the story: 1 negative thought can burn all positive thoughts. And Caribbean Soul, you are absolutely correct about that. That is so true. Very, very true. Caribbean Soul, you're getting real good, you know. You're getting good. You're getting good. Susan Lalchan said, life is great when you stay away from negative, jealousy, and unhappy people. So, folks, there you have it. We are out of here. I want to go out with that explainer song. Let me go to the Mystic Prowler. Look below the surface. No. All right. I want to go to that one. I want the next one. I want to explain a song. Hold on, eh? I want to go to the explainer song tonight, folks. Here we go. The table's turning, boy. That is Explainer song, The Tables Turning. Yeah, we go out with that one tonight. So, folks, good night. We see you guys same WZYE time. Again, Sergeant Ramsey, it was nice having you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes.
And of course, you'll be welcome back here at any time, right here in the village, with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street on WZYE 95.9 FM. As Explainer said, the tables have already turned in Trinidad and Tobago.
Round and round, table turning side. Falling down, I say they're falling down. Round and round, on them open side. Falling down, they're falling down. Round and round, round and round.
79
Falling down, I say they're falling
was the year of overthrow.
table turning side.
We do not know what 80 might bring.
Round and round,
We have seen the fall of many great leaders, though they were dictators. We have seen Idi Amin, the Shah, and Emperor Bokassa. We do not know